1970s R&B wasn't just smooth grooves and velvet voices. It was rebellion wrapped in rhythm. Behind lush harmonies and bass lines that moved entire dance floors, artists pushed boundaries that radio couldn't handle. Songs banned for being too sensual, too political, too honest, or too ahead of their time. This is the era when moans scandalized church groups. When governments tried to silence musicians, and when R&B became a battlefield for cultural change. These are the most controversial, banned, and backlash-heavy R&B songs of the 1970s. Donna Summer, Love to Love You Baby, 1975. The moan heard around the world. In 1975, Donna Summer, then an unknown American singer living in Germany, recorded a song that reshaped disco and shocked the world. Love to Love You Baby. Co-written with Giorgio Moroder and Pete Bellotte, the track pushed sensuality to never-before-heard levels. Donna's breathy moans drifted over shimmering strings and a slow, pulsing beat, so realistic that even seasoned radio programmers blushed, and the world reacted instantly. The BBC banned the single outright, calling it too explicit for broadcast. American stations created shortened, safer edits of the song. But many refused to play it at all. Time magazine famously counted 22 moans. BBC staff insisted it was 23. Civil rights leader Jesse Jackson condemned the song as morally corrupting. Church groups protested outside record stores. But the scandal only made it bigger. The uncut version, 16 minutes long, filled an entire side of Donna's album. And the single soared to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, selling over 1 million copies. What critics called indecent. The world embraced as an anthem of the 1970s sexual revolution. Donna Summer didn't just push boundaries. She rewrote the rulebook. Billy Paul, Let's Make a Baby, 1976.
You're being took.
The love song that church leaders tried to erase. By the mid-1970s, Philadelphia soul had perfected a signature sound. Lush strings,
On the bell. Do me a favor. Open the door.
polished horns, and romance wrapped in silk. So when Billy Paul released Let's Make a Baby in 1976, most listeners expected another gentle love ballad. Instead, they got one of the decade's fiercest moral controversies. The backlash began in Chicago. Reverend Jesse Jackson called the song obscene and launched a public campaign to pull it from radio playlists, and radio stations scrambled. Some aired edited versions with lines muted or rewritten. Some played the song but refused to say its title on air. Others banned it completely. Worried it was too explicit for family-friendly programming. The protest grew so large
Open the door and let me
that national news outlets began covering the feud, transforming a modest R&B track into a cultural lightning rod for artistic freedom. But controversy has a way of selling records. Despite boycotts, Let's Make a Baby climbed to number 18 on the R&B chart and even cracked the Pop Top 100. What was meant to be a tender, grown folks slow jam became a national debate about morality, censorship, and who gets to decide what grown adults listen to.
Can't forget John, Bobby Megger.
Billy Paul didn't set out to start a fire, but once the flames caught, no one could put them out.
In a bloodless revolution. The only way we're going
The Chakachas, Jungle Fever, 1971. The wordless hit that was banned for breathing too loud. When Jungle Fever hit U.S. airwaves in 1971, listeners didn't know what to make of it. It wasn't sung. It wasn't explicit on paper. It was just a Latin soul instrumental from a Belgian studio group. Until the moaning started. Playful. Rhythmic panting layered over a hypnotic groove had radio programmers blushing and fumbling for the stop button. The BBC banned it almost immediately, labeling it too suggestive for broadcast. But by the time the ban hit, the damage, or success, was done. The song had already cracked the Billboard Hot 100 Top 10 and sold over 1 million copies. Critics were split. Some called it audio indecency. Others praised its bold fusion of funk, Latin swing, and sensuality. But as always, banning a song only made it hotter. DJs played bootleg copies. American audiences bought the single in droves. Dance floors pulsed to its sweaty, winking energy. Ironically, the Chakachas never had another hit, but Jungle Fever became a cult classic. Resurfacing in the 1997 film Boogie Nights, the video game GTA San Andreas, countless DJ sample sets. What started as a tongue-in-cheek experiment became a defining anthem of a decade that finally stopped pretending music was innocent. Johnny Taylor, Disco Lady, 1976. The funk anthem moral critics couldn't stop. In early 1976, Johnny Taylor fused soul and disco into a groove so smooth, so irresistible, it became the lightning rod for one of the decade's biggest moral panics. Disco Lady. The song was a celebration of nightlife. Funky bass lines, slick horns, and a catchy hook urging listeners to shake it, baby. But not everyone was ready for that kind of fun. Civil rights leader Jesse Jackson condemned it as sex rock, claiming the lyrics promoted immorality and promiscuity. Some community radio stations banned the track outright. Others played it with edited intros to avoid complaints from conservative listeners. But the controversy didn't hurt the song. It supercharged it. Disco Lady dominated the charts. 4 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. 6 weeks at number 1 on the R&B chart. Over 2 million copies sold, it became the first song in history to receive RIAA Platinum certification, backed by musicians from Parliament Funkadelic. Johnny Taylor, fresh off the collapse of Stax Records, found an unexpected second life in disco's glow. The critics tried to shame it. The people danced anyway. Disco Lady proved one truth: no moral campaign can stop the sound of the dance floor. Casey and the Sunshine Band, Shake Your Booty, 1976.
Way I like it.
Well, I'm sure you do, but there's just one thing I don't understand.
What's that, Donna?
Well, there's a song.
The disco hit banned for saying one word too many. By 1976, disco had officially taken over. The dance floors were glowing. The outfits were glittering. And America was moving to a four-on-the-floor heartbeat. Then Casey and the Sunshine Band dropped one of the genre's biggest anthems. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. A simple message, a bouncy rhythm, a hook so repetitive and catchy that it was impossible to ignore. But that one word, booty, turned the song into a national controversy. Some American radio stations refused to play it, claiming the term was too explicit for broadcast. Others faded the record early to avoid airing what they viewed as sexual innuendo. Parents complained, church groups protested, program directors panicked. And yet, the public loved it. Despite the pushback, Shake Your Booty exploded commercially. Number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Number 1 on the R&B chart. Over 2 million copies sold. The group's third number 1 single, KC, later said the song wasn't meant to be sexual at all. Just an invitation to feel confident and have fun on the dance floor. But in the 1970s, even a single playful word was enough to start a cultural fire. Today, Shake Your Booty stands as one of disco's defining moments, proof that joy itself can be controversial. Gil Scott-Heron, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1970, the underground anthem radio was afraid to touch.
Black boy over there running scared. His old man in a bottle.
In 1970, a young poet from Harlem stepped onto a stage and delivered one of the most powerful political messages African American music had ever heard.
And don't you think it's a crime?
Gil Scott-Heron, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, set first to conga drums, then re-recorded with a jazz funk arrangement. The piece wasn't just a poem or a song. It was a wake-up call. Gil attacked a television culture, commercialism, and political apathy. Firing off brand names, news anchors, and government officials with razor-sharp wit. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox.
And now we watch him every day.
It wasn't polite. It wasn't neutral. And that made it dangerous. The song was never officially banned, but its Black Power message triggered quiet censorship. Most major U.S. radio stations refused to play it. Program directors feared political backlash. Advertisers didn't want their brands named in a protest piece, so the record found life underground. Spoken word venues, college radio, community gatherings, civil rights meetings. What mainstream radio rejected, the streets embraced. Decades later, the Library of Congress added the recording to the National Recording Registry, calling it culturally significant. Gil Scott-Heron didn't just criticize the media. He predicted a future where real resistance would never fit into a commercial break. The revolution wasn't televised. It was heard, it was felt, and it still echoes today. Curtis Mayfield, don't worry. If there's a hell below,
if people would just read the Bible.
We're all going to go. 1970, The apocalyptic funk track radio tried to bury when Curtis Mayfield launched his solo career in 1970.
Don't worry.
He didn't ease into it. He kicked the door down. The opening track of his debut album was a bomb of political fire. Don't worry. If there's a hell below, we're all going to go. Driven by a thunderous bass, congas, and psychedelic distortion, the song laid out a chaotic, unfiltered portrait of America. Racism, war, fear, corruption, and impending social collapse. Curtis wasn't whispering warnings. He was shouting prophecy. And radio stations wanted no part of it. Many U.S. programmers quietly shelved the record, calling its lyrics too controversial, too confrontational, too dangerous for mainstream audiences. Still, the song pushed through on sheer power. Number 3 on the R&B chart. Number 29 on the Hot 100. A defining moment in political soul. Mayfield didn't make protest music for applause. He made it for survival and transformation. His confrontational style shaped the next generation of artists, influencing everyone from Marvin Gaye to Kanye West. Curtis didn't just reflect the times. He broadcasted Judgment Day in stereo, and listeners are still trying to catch up.
For peace no one is willing.
Edwin Starr, War, 1970. The anti-violence anthem censored by militaries and governments. In 1970, Motown made a bold decision. They took War, a track originally recorded by The Temptations, and handed it to a singer with a voice fiery enough to turn a message into a movement, Edwin Starr. What happened next became one of the most explosive moments in protest music history. Backed by pounding drums and a militant horn section,
Listen to me. It ain't nothing but a heartbreak.
Starr unleashed the immortal line. War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. His delivery was scorching.
God, y'all.
Raw emotion turned into political ammunition, and America listened. The song shot to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 3 weeks. Over 3 million copies sold. A gold record, one of Motown's biggest singles ever. But with success came resistance. U.S. Armed Forces Radio banned the track, fearing its anti-war message would harm troop morale during the Vietnam War. Decades later,
Listen to me. It ain't nothing.
during the 1991 Gulf War, the BBC banned the song from broadcast because its message was too politically charged.
Good God, y'all.
But censorship only cemented its legacy. War became a timeless protest anthem, echoing through films, rallies, TV shows,
Made him disabled. Bitter and mean. Life
and hip-hop samples. Edwin Starr didn't just sing a lyric, he delivered a verdict. And once the world heard it, there was no going back.
it ain't nothing but a heartbreaker.
Fela Kuti, Zombie, 1976. The protest song that brought down an army. In 1976, Nigerian bandleader Fela Kuti released a song that didn't just criticize a government. It provoked one. Zombie. Over a hypnotic Afrobeat rhythm, Fela delivered scathing satire, comparing Nigerian soldiers to mindless zombies who blindly followed orders. March, halt, turn, salute, no thinking, No questioning. It was bold. It was brilliant. And it was deadly. The song exploded across West Africa. Its message unmistakable. Crowds chanted it in the streets. Clubs blasted it on repeat. Even soldiers reportedly danced to it before realizing the joke was on them. Then came the retaliation. In 1977, roughly 1,000 soldiers stormed Fela's Lagos compound, the Calacuta Republic, a self-declared independent community that housed his family, band members, and his recording studio. The military burned the compound to the ground, beat Fela nearly to death, assaulted his followers, threw his elderly mother from a window, causing injuries that later proved fatal. The Nigerian regime banned the album outright. Fela was exiled after similar unrest in Ghana, where zombies sparked riots in the streets. But the world heard the message. Zombie became a global symbol of resistance, a fearless fusion of funk, jazz, polyrhythms, and uncompromising political fire. Fela proved that music could be a weapon, one groove strong enough to shake an entire military regime. The Temptations. Ball of confusion. That's what the world is today. 1970. The socially charged hit censored for being too real. In 1970, Motown took a risk. They let the Temptations break from polished love songs and step directly into the chaos of America's social crisis. The result was Ball of Confusion. A rapid-fire list of everything tearing the country apart. Vietnam, segregation, inflation, drug abuse, pollution. Political corruption, racial tension, delivered over a psychedelic funk groove. The lyrics didn't dance around issues. They attacked them head-on. Listeners were stunned, and so were radio programmers. Several U.S. stations restricted its playtime, arguing the song was too radical. During a period of nationwide protests and racial unrest, but controversy pushed the song higher. It became a major hit and ushered Motown into a new, riskier era of socially conscious soul. Then history repeated itself. During the 1991 Gulf War, the BBC placed the song on a temporary ban list, grouping it with tracks referencing war, fear, or global instability. Not because of profanity, not because of violence, but because the song was too accurate. Its refrain, that's what the world is today. Hit uncomfortably close to reality. Ball of Confusion stands as proof that honesty itself can be controversial, especially when the truth echoes through every era.